Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Compact Claustrophobia. So, since the last episode, it's been a minute, basically. I'd actually started recording a segment covering the challenges. We're going to take a quick look at those. I did go ahead, I completed the water, and I completed the iron. Okay, because we had plenty of iron on hand, and water is as simple as just setting up this, sticking a tank in between it. I was just using these reinforced portable tanks, and then just submitting it. Now this thing is completely busted. It does not work. It doesn't seem to be working in this version of Better Questing, or in this pack or something. Like for example, if we try to go through and we select, for example, the one about poop is the one that kept bugging out really bad. If we select that, it just unselects it. Like it won't let us select that. The water, it will not pump water into this. It just seems to be broken. It'll actually let us select, like if we come over to, well, I don't have it anymore, but if I select like lava, it will keep that selected. However, it will not allow lava to be pumped in to the object submission station. So we pretty much have to manually input anything for the challenges, which is a little bit busted. And honestly, these challenges, they're kind of whatever. We're going to quickly talk about them, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on them, I don't think. Lava, we just set up a few crucibles. These are over blazing pyrotheum. And then a cobblestone generator in between them. Now, realistically, this will take a lot longer, so if you want to do the challenge, you'll need to expand out. Probably the best way to do it would be if you want to put the time in. If you take a look at the crucible, you can see the heat sources, and for example, if you have berkelium, it's 600 times. Californium is 3,000 times speed. So you can produce a lot of lava very quickly with that, if you want to put the time into nuclear craft to build up to that. We'll be doing that kind of stuff on Enigmatica, but this pack is more of just like checking it out sort of thing, and I'm not that worried about setting up a super, going for Californium to make a big lava setup, because realistically it's just not necessary for this challenge. It's only 1,000 buckets, so it's not that much lava realistically that you need for this. Same with the water. Diamonds, it's just a big material dump. We're still producing graphite, so that's one way to make diamonds, and it will get a lot easier once you have Dash. You can do the Dash method for making the HOP graphite. So you do 9 of the carbon fiber and 1 HOP graphite, and you get 9 HOP graphite ingots. This stuff's super simple once we have Dash in hand. It'll be a lot easier to get that. So realistically, I wouldn't worry too much about it until then. Though I will say you can also mine diamonds. It wouldn't take that long to get 500 blocks of diamonds from mining. Realistically either, especially once we get the miner from space, like the big vehicle that you drive around, you can mine up diamonds super fast with that. The poop, of course, we already have a poop set up, but without the object submission station, this is just a lot of just getting a lot of poop in your inventory and tech submit, because like I said, I cannot get the object submission station to work. Bedrock is just, honestly, the easiest way to do this is just go mine 100 bedrock. Realistically, that's the easiest way. Just go down, mine it up. It wouldn't take that long. Getting all those bedrock chunks take a big setup, and it will take a while to do that challenge. And then Picky Eater is just making 100 force more quartz ingots. That's not a big deal. You do have to do the milk chocolate, which is just a whole process here with the salt mixer, molten dark chocolate, and milk. Milk, of course, coming from cows. Easy to set up an auto clicker to do that for you. And then molten dark chocolate is the unsweetened chocolate and sugar, which is just melted down sugar. And then the unsweetened chocolate is chocolate liqueur and cocoa butter. And that's just basically ground cocoa nibs from roasted cocoa beans. Just a whole little process here. It's like a really long little process, and then you melt down those ground cocoa nibs to get your chocolate liqueur. Beyond that, graham crackers are just flour. which is manufactured wheat. So it's not a big deal. Once again, we actually will be doing this on Enigmatica. I just don't care to do it twice for no real purpose on here. It fits a bit more into what we're doing on Enigmatica with the foods. So we'll be doing that on there. I'm not interested in doing it on here, realistically. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our attention today over to going into space, just to wrap this up. And of course, along the way, we will finish some quests through here, because we do have, and that keeps unclaiming. Every time I log off, it unclaims. But we do have some quests in here that we'll kind of tidy up, clean up, just to finish all the main little quests through here. But I'm not that worried about the challenges, realistically. So anyways, what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to get into a bit of Galacticraft, and there's a couple machines that we're going to have to make. We're going to have to make compressors, and we're going to have to make circuit fabricators, being the two big things that we need to start off with. So circuit fabricators, we pull this up. This is just aluminum, which I think we've got plenty of at this point. A few buttons, a furnace, and there's a circuit fabricator. And then we're going to need the compressor, and realistically, getting a few of these compressors, not a bad idea. The electric compressor does require the steel, 10, advanced wafer. I can actually pull this off already, and so we probably will. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do an electric compressor. That way we can power it with power instead of having to put fuel into it, because if you use the standard compressor, we will have to put fuel into that. Redstone torch. Let me get a bit of this stuff. Also silicon. We're going to need a lot of that. And let's see, where do we want to put our stuff at? We'll just put our circuit fabricator here. You should have power. Oh wait, it takes okay. These are very specific in where you plug up power to them. So power's got to come in on this side. I always hated the Galacticraft machines for this very reason. So there's power. We're going to need diamonds. So diamond, we're going to do silicon, we're going to do redstone, and then redstone torch goes right there, and it's now running. It's going to make us, and I just want one craft right now. Now we will be using a lot of diamonds for doing this stuff, or a bit of diamonds, not a ton realistically, but we will be using a few with this. But there's a basic wafer. Okay, so let's pop back over, and let's do the compressor. So there's that. And then to upgrade to the electric compressor, because as it stands right now, if we open this thing up, we take a look, you'll notice that it needs fuel. It needs coal there. And there is also the advanced compressor, but I think this is going to require that we get meteoric iron, which is going to require that we go into space for that. But let's go ahead. I think that requires, it does not require the compressor as an upgrade. Oh, but we're actually going to have to set this up for just a moment here. Okay, let me pop over, and this is where we're going to start needing a bit of that coal that we saved. But if we throw that into there, and then to make the electric compressor, it requires that we get compressed steel and compressed tin. Tin is just 2 tin, and steel, we can either do steel like that, or we can do compressed iron and 2 coal for the compressed steel. Luckily, I think we have plenty of steel. Let's see, what's the speed of it by default? Not that bad. Yeah, I tell you what, let me get, because we have plenty of materials, let me get a couple more of these. And I'm going to go ahead and get some tin going also. Now, the electric compressor, we're going to need 4 steel, 1 tin, and an advanced wafer for that, which is redstone repeater. Now, at this point, I would also probably go ahead, make a few of these things as we craft. So there's 7. I can get more. I've got more stone, but just because we're going to be using a lot of that stuff as we move forward. Let's go ahead, switch that, toss in one of those, and we'll get our electric compressor. Let me go ahead and run that up also. Okay, so there's our advanced wafer, and then there's our electric compressor. Okay, now I want to grab a bit of this wire because we're going to need it, and let's pop over and just toss this down, rotate it to find the power connection. And I want to go ahead and just get a couple more of these wafers so we can make a couple more electric compressors. Because what we're going to be doing is going to require a bunch of this. And it's making double. Let me grab this stuff out, that stuff out. There's our advanced wafers. And let me get 2 more electric compressors just to speed up this whole process a little bit for us today. And we'll rotate both these. There we go. And we'll get these running, making us some more compressed. You can pretty much never have too much of this compressed stuff. I promise you. So now, let's go ahead and pull up Galacticraft. And what we're going to need to do, first and foremost, is make our bench, this NASA workbench. So we're going to need one more advanced wafer, and then just some stuff that we've already got. So let's go ahead, let's throw another diamond into there, and get that running. So there's that. Then we're going to pop over and let's go ahead, let's get ourselves a crafting table, and let's get ourselves, let me get some sticks just to fill this back up here. Get us a couple levers, and there is our NASA workbench. Okay, so we'll just toss this thing down. And right now we only have the tier 1 rocket because we have to get schematics from space to make bigger things. Now if we wanted to make a tier 1 rocket, you could see that we're going to need some heavy duty plates. We're also going to need more heavy duty plates and a redstone torch. We're going to need more heavy duty plates and some compressed steel for the fins. And we're going to need heavy duty plates, canisters, oxygen vents. That's just that, and then flint and steel and a button for the engine. Okay, so for our heavy duty plates, these are just bronze, aluminum, and steel compressed, and they're going to be ran together then in the compressor. So let's get, let me go ahead and get a bit more steel, because we do end up using a bunch of this, and it doesn't hurt to make extras in this stage. I need to make more bronze, and I'll probably be okay on aluminum. I might have to get some more, but we've got a bunch more aluminum built up actually. But let me go ahead and just make up a bunch of bronze, and let's go ahead and get some compressed bronze running. Let's get some more compressed steel, and then let's get some compressed aluminum. And let me just go ahead and get another like stack, 2 stacks of aluminum. And I'm going to go ahead and throw more bronze in. I'm going to throw more steel in. And I'm going to throw in more aluminum, because we're going to need lots of this stuff. And let me go ahead and pull back up Galacticraft here. And it's steel, aluminum, and then bronze. Go ahead and get running what we can. I'd like to make a bunch of these, because once we get the heavy duty plates, once we go into space, we're then going to have to then upgrade these with compressed meteoric iron for tier 2, and then tier 2 one more time for the tier 3 with the dash. So a little bit of a process. It's even worse when you have extra planets, because you got to do it like 10 times. It gets very, very repetitive, to say the least. Okay, so now we should be okay. I should think. Let's go ahead and pop over. And remember, this is all just tier 1 plates. So we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, does this not hold its... I could have swore it used to hold its inventory, but maybe not. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a nose cone. So there's that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves 4 fins. So there's that. And then to get our engine, we're going to need either a tin or copper canister. Let's just go with copper. We're also going to need a flint and steel. We're going to need a button. We're going to need an oxygen vent. And then we just need the... Nope, I need the non-damaged flint and steel. There's our tier 1 rocket engine. Then we can just toss all this stuff in. Well, I need more of the heavy-duty plates now. Okay, so we'll just... You can just click these in, by the way. And there's our tier 1 rocket. Okay, so now, let me go ahead and just dump at least a lot of this stuff in here. Because I know we're not going to need a boat in space. Tome of Knowledge. I'll just go ahead and drain what I've got, and then I'll just dump it. There we go. That's good for right now. We'll dump a bit more stuff before we go into space. But now the next thing we're going to need is going to be the launch pad. It's a 3x3, so this is perfect. We are going to need some compressed iron for that. So let's go ahead and just grab that. Let me just dump all this. Yeah. Just dump all that into there. I think I might need some more wafers, but that's fine. Let me just grab this. Let me grab that. Let's get ourselves some compressed iron going. And let me go ahead and get some bronze running also. That should be enough compressed iron for us. And there is our launch pad. Okay, now in addition, we're going to need a fuel loader. I know. And that's going to require some compressed copper, a tin canister, and then another basic wafer. And realistically, I should probably just go ahead and craft, that'll be 6, 9. Yeah, let's do 9. And then let's also get our compressed copper. There's our first wafers. Okay. So, back over to the fuel loader. Let's get that. Okay. Just toss all this into there. And then we're going to need fuel canisters. We can either use methane gas or we can get oil. Probably go with oil. And in that case, we're going to need to get ourselves a refinery. So let's get a couple copper canisters, a furnace, and let me go grab some smooth stone. And there is our refinery. Okay, now at this point, we're going to have to get ourselves, let me get a tank. And let me go ahead and get a boat also. And that should be good. Now we're going to have to go find ourselves some oil. So let me just grab our base. We'll take this with us. Okay, I was looking for, I didn't know if we could find some of, I think, the immersive engineering oil that spawns in the things. I didn't really see any. And what we're going to do is just look for the, I guess, the Galacticraft oil. So what we'll do, let me set down our base here. Let me get some torches for starters. And we're just going to pop down and see if we can mine some up real quick. And so we're just going to head down and see, I think this is a beach biome, but we should be able to pretty easily find ourselves some oil down here, I think. It's always a little bit easier with the map mod because, you know, map mods tend to show you things like little pockets of liquid and stuff, but that is perfectly fine. We'll kind of dig our way outwards just a little bit. To try to get under the ocean. Okay, we're at Y17. We should be... This must be where the trumpet skeletons are. And something I did not make was a sword. Let's see if we can find some oil. There's silicon down here. Which traditionally that would be where you get your silicon from. This actually does decent damage, but we'll want to make a platinum sword next time we go back into the base. We're in deep ocean at the moment as our biome, so hopefully we'll come across some... There's diamonds. Okay, after a bit of running around, I have finally found some oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to set that down, and let's go ahead and set down our base for a minute. And let's just get ourselves a bit of this oil. And you'll pretty much just have to dig around till you find some of this stuff. I can't think of really an easier way to find it in this pack. It's generally just pretty low down. I don't know exact Y levels or anything like that, but dig around for a while and you will find some. It's not super rare, especially, I imagine, well, we're in a swampland right now, but generally this is going to be a little bit more common, I think, in the ocean as well. So let me just remove this. We'll go ahead and step on inside of our base, and we can start refining some of this fuel. And so if we set up our refinery, say right here. Was that where the power cable has to go over the top? Okay, that's fine. That is fine. We'll just run that out like so. And then if we take and let's just dump all of these in really quick. Just empty these extra buckets out. And then if we toss that in there, yeah, that works. Okay, so that's going to steadily start refining that into fuel, which is what we want. Okay, so now what we're going to do is let's pop over to here. And honestly, that one area of fuel should be enough for us, realistically. Let's go ahead and just get ourselves a couple of these empty canisters. Please don't stack. Okay. And then in addition to our fuel, we're also going to want oxygen, of course. So let's go with a oxygen collector. This right here. And this is what's going to actually collect oxygen for us and give us basically like usable oxygen. So there's that. Also, we're going to want an oxygen mask. And we're going to want oxygen gear. And I can't remember, in default Galacticraft, do we need a spacesuit? I'm not for sure. We need more compressed tin. Okay. And that's still, we're finding a way. Let's go ahead and put that in there. 1,000 is going to be a filled fuel canister. This is actually going to make a lot of fuel for us. Realistically, now I don't think this is going to work right here. I'm going to double check, but I don't think that it will, because generally I think you need leaves around it, right? Go ahead and grab these also. So if we were to set up this oxygen collector, where's the power go on this thing? There we go. Okay, so it is actively collecting. That's great. Okay. Then that works for us. And to fill our oxygen tanks, I'm going to take a look. I think we'll need, I can't remember, I can never remember what machine it is that we need, but there we go. There's another fuel tank. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of fuel for us. For all of our needs, I should think. Let's go here. There's our oxygen gear. And if we open up right here, this is where we can equip our oxygen mask and our... oh wait, I actually have to make the oxygen gear. I still have the concentrator. There we go. There's our oxygen gear. And we could just drop this right into there. Also, we're going to want a parachute for sure. So a little bit of canvas. Make some more string up. There's that. There's our parachute. And the rest of the stuff is just kind of like little upgrades. We'll probably make a couple of these though. And we do need some oxygen tanks. I don't know if we can make the heavy ones. Yeah, we should be able to. So let's get ourselves... Let me get... can I get poppies in a swampland? That's something I hadn't noticed, but it seems like whenever I change my biome in the overworld, it changes my biome inside of... inside of here. So I'm not able to get poppies in here at the moment. That's okay. I might be able to make red dye another way. Actually, we've got some beets. Let me just do it that way. Let me get some heavy oxygen tanks. I want 2 of these. You can make the smaller ones, but you might as well just go with the bigger ones. They store more. Also, let me get the sound thing. There it is. Frequency module. Let's go ahead and grab one of those. Throw all this into there. And this will just go right there. One thing I do want to go ahead and do, we don't actually need this for going to the moon, but I would like to go ahead and make our thermal padding. Make a bit of this up, and let me get a bit more wool, just because we can. And that way we don't have to worry about it later. So we'll go ahead and just get all of our pieces of thermal padding. And this is going to allow us to, let's see, the tier 1 is for Mars, the tier 2 is for Venus, and it just goes on underneath our clothes here. Okay, and I also want to get, while I'm thinking about it, a platinum sword would be wonderful. Because this is 6.5 attack damage, that's 7.5, so it will be handy to have that. What else do we need? I think that's going to be most everything. And I've got to remember what we're going to use to fill these tanks with. The oxygen compressor. Okay, so let's get one of those also. There is that. And we're going to need a fluid pipe, which will move our gas over. And that should be good, I think. So let's pop back over. That's still refining away. We've got lots of fuel. That's collecting our oxygen. Let's see though. Actually, where it's at is not ideal. Now that I think about it. Because we need this cable connection right there. Because that's going to move our fluid. So let's do, or our gas, in this case. Let's go ahead and set up that. That's going to send the oxygen over. And what I need to do then is just run power over to this. And then run power over to this. Okay. So that now has power. And if we take and we drop in our oxygen tank, it'll start filling that now with oxygen, which is being produced, of course, over here and then sent over. And then I think beyond that, I think we're done. As far as what we need, the basic stuff that we need to go into space. So let me go ahead and pop out. I'm actually going to take our base above ground. And just so in case we need it, I'm going to just dig my way up. Plus, I'm kind of actually lost inside these tunnels. I'm just going to dig my way up, and that way we'll have easy access to get back down here. Okay, I made my way up. I had to dig a little bit extra because we hit water. So, and then also, let's see. I'll probably want some glowstone torches before we go as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to set up our rocket launch pad just right here. And we'll put our rocket on. There we go. Our fuel loader is going to set there, maybe? Maybe it can go on the corner. I can't remember. It's been a little bit since I did Galacticraft. Let's go ahead. Set this right there. Okay, so how is this doing? That one's full. And these are going to go in right there. And we'll start actually breathing through these once we get into space. The nice thing is, anytime that we need oxygen, we can just pop it right back in here and have oxygen. I'm assuming so. Because it kind of makes me wonder, since the biome changes, I wonder if Galacticraft could make, like, compact machines where you can't breathe anymore. You know, that would be interesting. Like, you would actually have to have breathing equipment. And then let's go ahead and make ourselves a battery also. Just a couple of those. And we're going to want to charge this up. I don't know that we ever made an energetic infuser. And let me also go ahead, just to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and make ourselves just a couple, or like one more craft of rocket launch pads. Let's set up the energetic infuser. Right there's fine. We're going to toss in our batteries and let those get charged up real quick. That tank is full. We're going to go ahead and throw that on. And you can see our little oxygen tanks there. And I think I'm going to let this get charged up just in case, because we're going to use this to power our fuel loader to fill up our rocket. And that way we don't got to run power outside, basically. And then I think we're all set, right? We've got food. We've got... Oh yeah, glowstone torches. Just a handful of these. Okay, so at this point, I think we're ready. I believe that we are ready to go into space. So let's go ahead. Let's throw that in, and let's throw that in. And that way it can start loading. If we take a look here, inventory, you can see our fuel going up right there. That's great. And I think one fuel canister is like enough to fill it and then some, I think. Or no, it's just enough to fill it. Okay. So that's good. We're going to take that back. And we're going to take this. And now we are ready to set off into space. Now at this point, I am going to end out the episode, and that way we can spend the entirety of next episode on the moon, doing our moon stuff, which will basically be finding a dungeon, running the dungeon, hopefully not getting a million moon buggies, getting the blueprint for the next tier rocket, and getting some moon rock to finish out the quest, basically. And then it'll be off to Mars and off to Venus. So, and then the asteroid belt as well is somewhere in there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.